This is going to be a very basic explanation of how to use PLU's library website. So the first thing you're going to want to do is navigate to PLU's website by just simply typing in plu.edu, or if you already have a bookmark set up on your bookmarks bar, you just simply have to click it. Then you want to go to the library dropdown. So when you click on the library dropdown, it's going to immediately take you to the search. But before we get into searches, I want to point out one very important thing. The second tab over is called Research Guides, and if you click on that, this will take you to basically all the majors that exist in at PLU, and you can go ahead and select whichever one you would like. So the first one here, the one we're going to look at is theater and dance. So if we go to theater and dance, we see a lot of useful information that anyone can use in their studies of theater. So one-act plays. So if you would need a one-act play for a class, the Cambridge Guide to Theater, different kinds of reference tools, different search engines that are going to be really useful for theater, and of course our theater librarian. You can email your librarian or schedule an appointment with them. So don't forget that resource exists. The other thing about going to the research guides is that there's this how-to quick link. So, if you're a little bit at sea of how to create an annotated bibliography or evaluate web content, or tell if a source is popular or scholarly, or tell if a source is devotional or scholarly, or if you want to find fiction books or use a library from off campus, there's these great quick links here. You can also ask a librarian, find out who's on duty. You can send them a email at any time, or a link at any time of the day, by just typing in your question at Ask a Librarian. Okay. So let's go back to the home page of the library. Here we have search. So the thing about library search engines is they don't quite work like Google. You can't just type anything in, and if you misspell something, it's not going to give you what the correct spelling may be. So you've really got to make sure that when you're searching accurately. The other function that I'm going to point you to is the advanced search. So of course you can type in a keyword, maybe John Leguizamo, right? And the thing is, so if I select all formats, it's going to be all of these things right here, right? So just for the sake of looking at that, let's search. So we're going to have all these different articles. This is all things that are held by PLU. It does not have libraries worldwide clicked. So we can go through and look at all this stuff. Now, some of this may be really useful. And some of it may just simply be, a review of a book. So if I click on the title, right, and I go to view description, I can sometimes find out more information, sometimes not. So let's see if I can look at the full text. So it'll load. I'm going to pause while it does. And what we find when we follow that link is some text from an article in the newspaper magazine The Advocate, which is a gay newspaper. So this may or may not be what we're looking for in our research. So we want to go back. Let's say we actually wanted to find a book, because the frustrating thing about trying to find online resources, it's not impossible. You certainly can find a lot of online resources, but you're going to have to slog through a lot of reviews of books rather than the book itself, or articles which may or may not be useful to you. And so let's say you wanted to find the book. So I've got John Leguizamo. That's how you would properly search for things if you knew all of the key codes, which I'm not going to get into right now. This is where I could go down here and we can select book, right? And we're going to say search. There's only one book that you could get at PLU's library that has to do with John Leguizamo, and that is Performance in America, Contemporary U.S. Culture, and the Performing Arts. So this is where you could see that it's on the second floor, because most of our books are, and you would see what the call number is, and then be able to go and find that book. So this should hopefully help you as you're to narrow what your search results are that you will get from PLU's library.